When your story makes them feel seen, that's when real connection happens.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work, an award-winning podcast where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here's your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everybody. So we're talking about your story and how to bring the thing together, right? And you're like, Maurice, what's the thing? Well, we might touch that just a little bit, right? So here's what I would like for you to consider. I would like for you to frame your story so your audience sees themselves in it. You're the guide, not the star. They're on their own journey. So here's what this means. I just gave you the idea of my grandmother, if you listen to previous episodes, about my grandmother dealing with her personal tragedy. And sometimes we get caught up in telling the story where I had to do, I had to be, I had to feel. And the other side of that would be, during the midst of this storm, how many of you can consider what you may have gone through in your own personal storm? And yes, I felt weird and off within that storm. I did not have my footing. I had to find clothing for my siblings and I. I did find my mother and my father, unfortunately, no longer with us. In that time, I'm the one that found them. And so, or I had seen them. I was one of the first people who had seen them in that state. So how many of you have had to deal with those types of moments and even when you have done that, how have you been able to persevere through it? How were you able to still walk among us today, not being in a state of frenzy or chaos or whatever it is? How have you coped with the situation? And now here's a time where you can deal with it even further and understand that you still are winning because you are here with us today. You're able to stand up here and talk to us in this situation. You have now become a statistic on the positive side of that, not one that fell through the cracks, not one that lost hope, not one that has lost themselves in that situation. We are going through this thing called life together. We are ones that are now changing history, because in some places and cases and situations, a lot of us wouldn't be able to go through that type of storm and encounter those type of challenges if, one, we did not have the right support system around us, i.e., my grandmother's grandmother who was around, i.e., other family members who were around. And some of us out there have that support system to get us through. So you are the one that's making it happen. You are the one that has changed the scenario. You've changed the story or the proposed outcome. You've been able to do that. So at this time, as you're listening to what I'm stating and now making sure that your audience is not taking on your story and your woes and, oh, woe is me and I didn't have and this, that, and the other. But you're saying to them, like, no, just like your storm, no, it may not be exactly like my grandmother's storm, but your storm is just as important. Your storm and your situation, because here's the reality. We don't know everybody's community that they've grown up in. We don't know what environment they have been. So that storm may not be a literal storm, but just like for my father who grew up in foster care, my actual father grew up in foster care. What was his life really like being in foster care? That was his version of his storm. So each and every one of us has to unfortunately take a look in that mirror and say, hey, what is that storm? But you would need to have that individual that's around you to help you understand that, hey, because you have gone through this, you are better than you were before. You are now a situation or in a situation that you may not have encountered by going through that storm, but you are the victor going through that. You have victory over it. You have overcome it. You are now that individual that can take it and influence and encourage someone else that they are now the winner. They are the superhero of their story. Maurice, why does it matter? Why does all this matter? Because empowering your audience through your story makes it about them, not just about you. And if you're looking to become a coach, if you're looking to become a consultant, if you're looking to become a counselor, if you're looking for someone to just be a best friend, a homie, someone that wants to be a teacher, I encourage you to share your story, but frame it so that in that situation, that even if they had to walk in your shoes, that they would come out of it the same or even better. But even in their own stories, they are better than what they thought they would have been. Like their outcome was better than what they could have imagined. So empower the people that you're talking to. Let them know that they're not a statistic that is less than. Because guess what? They're still here, right? So even though I'm talking to you about you creating and you're talking about your story, again, I'm not asking you to be the hero. Because in all reality, you're relatively the hero anyway, because you're the one that's standing up on stage. You're kind of the hero already by being on a microphone. You're kind of a hero of just standing there, just saying what your story is and just leaving it alone. People are going to feel that way anyway. And sometimes people may not always take it lightly. They may feel negatively or whatever it is because they feel as though that they can't do the same thing. So we need to leave our audience feeling like they are the superhero within their own story and within your story. Because you want to make them feel seen. You want to make sure that they feel like they're being heard. So if you're listening to their story and you have to say to them, express to them, you are the one, Neo. I'm sorry. I couldn't leave that alone. That was my whole Matrix thing. But they are the one. They are the chosen one. They were the one that was designed to go through that. They were the one that were created for that moment to be able to go tell someone else they can make it through as well. So again, empowering your audience through your story makes it about them, not just you. Thank you very much for listening today.
Thanks for listening. Follow Maurice Chisholm on social media to stay connected and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work. Or will it?